Hi, this is Thunderneck with another episode of Thoughts for Sailor Moon Crystal. This is for episode number 14, where we finally get the conclusion for the first story arc and the very start of the next one. Of course, this is mainly the big focus on the battle versus Queen Metallia. Of course, with Sailor Moon now in possession of like a fully powered silver crystal. And really, I think the battle overall, it was pretty nicely done. It's still, a lot of this sticks pretty close to the manga. One thing I like is that it's not so much a change from the manga, it's just that they put a little bit more emphasis on a part that in the manga I felt was kind of easy to miss, and that's with the Sailor Guardians, them using the last of their power to, I guess, activate that kind of prayer crystal thing on the moon. In the manga, it's there, but the panels are so small that if you're kind of rushing through reading it, it's very easy to miss. This time, though, with the Sailor Moon Crystal, they definitely put a lot of emphasis where we get to see all the Sailor Guardians, and then of course see their pens, or transformation pens, light up and become that beam of light and energy to hit the moon where Artemis and Luna are. And of course that actually brings up like the next kind of major change, and that's the fact when Luna, she's doing the whole prayer on the moon, we actually get to see a kind of a glimpse of her human form, which of course is not something that we see for a while more in the manga, so this is definitely a much earlier appearance of that, which I thought was a really nice nod. I think, of course, probably when Naoko Takeuchi probably wrote the manga, she hadn't quite thought about having that for Luna yet at that stage. But of course, you know, now that it's been out for like forever, it kind of makes sense to go ahead and kind of insert some of this stuff earlier on, and really got excited to see that, especially since in the original anime series we only see that in like one of the movies. We don't get to see any of the cats have in their human forms outside of Luna too, so that's gonna be a pretty nice thing. I think I want to say in R we do get to see more human form for them. I'm not really sure. I may be confusing it with S, but I know either way, you know, we get to see them. But it was really nice to see that. And let's see. Other than that, it really did stick. I mean, it kind of just did some little cuts and little change-ups other than that, but for the most part, very true to the manga source itself. One thing, like I brought up with the last episode thoughts, is the fact that we do again get the sense that for Usagi, her Sailor Moon form is pretty much the form that she associates with, you know, being able to actually protect others with, and I think we get to see that a little bit more with this episode, which for me I like. It just seems like just that extra confirmation for that. Let's see, with this we of course get the new brooch and of course, new transformation, but of course, like the original anime, there really is not a lot of change with the transformation scene, which, you know, makes sense, because this new transformation, there really is not much different outside of, you know, the brooch. But, you know, now she's got the silver crystal with her. Pretty much planet is saved. I do like the fact that, you know, we now get to see Mamoru and just, you know, some of his actual natural powers, like his ability to, through the earth, kind of sense things, and how he uses that to help Usagi locate the Sailor Guardians. Sorry, my voice is just kind of out. But I did like that we get actually see that. I mean, I guess if I have any like main criticism of like the original anime series is that Mamoru in general was kind of useless. I mean, he didn't do much power-wise other than like throw his roses. So I liked that in like the manga, and of course now in Crystal, that he has just a little bit more going for him, as we see with, you know, this ability and his connection to the Earth itself, which of course, you know, makes the idea that he has like the starseed for the Earth with him make a lot more sense, I think. But yeah, really good wrap up. And I think that is basically the most of this episode is that wrap up. Like I said, there is a little bit of the new storyline that we see, because this is the episode that gives us the introduction of Chibi Usa. And that is pretty much like 100% like panel for panel and phrases from the manga, where, you know, we have her dropping from the sky, and of course in the end threatening Usagi with a gun to hand over the silver crystal. So I'm kind of excited to see her there, because it just means that we are kicking off the next storyline, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that being faithfully adapted. Not so much because, well, there's part of it that I'm really excited to see more faithfully adapted. Other parts, not so much, because we don't see too many of the Sailor Guardians as they kind of get taken out. So not looking forward too much for like them having even more reduced roles, though I guess on the plus side, each one does get an episode more or less dedicated to them as this is going on. So I guess we shall see. But I have a feeling that they're going to probably keep that rather close. But, you know, thing about I'm really excited is that, you know, we should get a lot more Sailor Pluto than what we did in the original anime. And she's one of my favorite scout or guardians, and so I'm pretty much looking forward to that. But let's see. Oh, I guess one thing I really liked was, of course, really like just in general with this wrap up is Usagi's talk with Queen Serenity, and the fact that she brings up that, you know, even though the Moon Castle is kind of all back, and that she could like go back and, you know, live and rule there once more, she goes ahead and rejects it and says that, you know, her place now is on the Earth, where, you know, she has her mother and father, or yeah, her new mother and father there, and just to be with everyone that she loves, which, you know, of course means the Sailor Guardians as well. And I just rather like that the fact that Usagi, you know, chooses to, you know, be with the people that she cares about over, you know, ruling in a kingdom. And I know, I just really always kind of like that. I think at this point you really get the sense that Usagi, she has grown so much, especially if you think about how she was in the first episode. And that's one thing I really loved about the manga, is that Usagi actually got character growth. I mean, yeah, sure, she isn't like a complete adult yet, you know, she still has a lot of childish moments, but overall you can definitely tell that she has grown, she has matured, and that's what I've always liked. I mean, just seeing that kind of character growth with her, and I'm really happy to, you know, see this actually playing out in a anime series, because with the original anime, I mean, she always seemed to get reset to her default, no matter, you know, how she acted at the, like, end of any series. It always seemed to have, like, a reset for her personality, and didn't seem to have as much growth, unlike, you know, in the manga, where there's definitely a lot of, you know, character growth, and you get to see her really grow up across all the series, the entire series. And again, I'm really looking forward to that kind of thing in Sailor Moon Crystal. I'm also really, really hoping that we get more than just the next, you know, the next story arc animated. I want them to animate everything, honestly. But you know what? As long as the Sailor Moon Crystal goods sell, I have a feeling they'll probably continue animating this. Which I really hope so, because I think, like a lot of people, would love to see more of the Outer Guardians, you know, be able to get, like, new adaptations for them, especially since usually when something gets adapted for Sailor Moon, they usually just kind of stick with the first story arc, and that's basically where it ends, so it'll be nice to see it continue further on. And I guess with that more or less kind of wraps up my thoughts. I mean, most of this episode, you know, it was just that final battle, and it kind of already went over everything there. And, oh, I guess, one thing, now that I'm thinking about it, is that we do get the scene with, Ray, you know, looking in the fire and seeing a glimpse of the enemy that will be coming up. I think, yeah, that's like one of the scenes that kind of got changed up and things omitted, because in the original manga she did it like right before going to school, and this like called up Usagi's house, which we don't get any of that. Instead we just have her seeing that glimpse of the enemy in the fire, which I think, you know, still works well enough, because, you know, that was the main point, is the fact that, you know, something is coming, and that's like one of actually that's the first glimpse that we get of anything that there's going to be something more beyond the Dark Kingdom. So rather nice, or rather like that they kept that. I was kind of worried that they may have cut that, so very glad instead to see that it was there. And I think with that then, yeah, everything, I've kind of touched on everything that I feel like I can for this episode. Other than there were some really, like, there were some moments that you could tell that they definitely need to get fixed animation-wise, which, you know, they probably will for the home video release. But, yeah, kind of surprised, I guess, for this episode, because it is such a major episode for the animation not to be on top quality. But at this point with Sailor Moon Crystal, you know, you kind of realize that that's kind of what you're going to get from time to time, just because of how anime is created these days. And yeah, I think that's finally, I've exhausted everything I can think of to talk about for this episode. So thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel, leave a like or comment. Until next time, bye.